What up, peeps? Welcome back to Musicians Hub, a place where artists, musicians, and entertainers can come to get help. Now, today we are talking about what should I post on social media. Man, a hot topic, especially if you're dealing with branding and you're really trying to get to that professional level. You might have to filter through some of the things you're posting and what times you post and all the good stuff. I'm not gonna deal with the analytics so much, more or less just what should I post. So I've broken this down into 3 different categories. I have the posting for followers, I have the posting for work, okay, and I have the posting for just genuine engagement. 3 different breakdowns here. So let's start with the first one. We're posting for followers. Now, when we're posting for followers, this is typically the content that is for drummers. These are the chops, you know, if you play any other instruments, like the licks, the flashy stuff. This is if you're on like this dope gig, you're kind of just posting for that and you have this like wow shock value to whatever you're doing. It's a great benefit for that. It could be counterproductive depending on what you're trying to do, but it definitely has some value with posting these types of things. Now, you do have to be a little more mindful, which I'll talk about at the end with each one of these, but there's pros and cons to this as well, and we'll dive into that in a little bit. But just remember, the first one is just like the flashy chops, that good stuff. Like I said, there is huge benefit for that, but you just have to be a little more strategic about where you post it, how you're posting it, and what your purpose is. Our second one is gonna be posting for work. Now, this is a very strategic one, and there's 2 subcategories in here that I thought about that we need to cover. If you're going to be a touring or live musician where you're playing out live and you get one shot at this, you might wanna post content that is that. And it doesn't mean you have to be on the biggest gig playing in stadiums or arenas, but even if you play at a local bar, if you're playing at church, you wanna showcase yourself in a live environment because that's what you're looking to get out of that. Artists and musicians and musical directors or band leaders seeing you in that application like, oh man, they sound really good there, or oh, okay, dope, man, he's playing some good music, this feels good. Oh, his look is good, or her look is good, or oh, nice, their look is really, really solid, and they're playing well, and it seems like it'd be a cohesive thing. That's what you wanna translate in your videos when you're posting them out and you're specifically looking for work. If you're looking for work though, just remember that it's important that you're posting that type of content, meaning it's you in a live application because that's the type of work that you're looking for, being a live musician. Now, let's say you're a studio musician. This is a much different beast from being live. You have to have a different skill set. Oftentimes they do intertwine, but they are very different at the same time than a live musician. So being a studio musician, and let's just specifically talk about drums. If I am a studio musician for drums here, you have to be able to have a wide variety of drums, means to get different sounds and textures and timbres depending on what your client is looking for. So you might want to showcase that. If you're a guitarist or a bass player or any other instrument, you want to showcase a wide variety of genres and tones that you can develop. If you're doing this in a home setting, yo, at my house, I have these types of guitars and basses. I can get these types of tones and I can play this style of genre. And remember, you're playing very much so like the record. Your intention is to attract people to hire you for studio work. All right, so I'm gonna briefly talk about both of these 2 categories I just talked about in terms of posting for followers and posting for work. Now, you're obviously going to want to intertwine both of these because sometimes in a live application when you are working, you might do some cool chops or you might have this great guitar solo or whatever, and that will attract followers, but it also still attracts people to hire you for work because you're in a live application or you're showcasing yourself on the job. They're going to intertwine. However, you have to think about this so when you're thinking about, okay, I'm only posting one type of thing. Let's translate this over into monetizing. I'm gonna briefly talk about this. I'll do another video where we're talking about this monetizing your content and what to get out of it. If I am a flashy drummer, right? I'm the guy that is giving you all the licks and sauce and you're like, oh my goodness, how does this person do that? I don't even know how that happened. Like, I gotta study with this dude, I gotta do all this other stuff. You're thinking this, right? The only way I can really monetize that is if I can get you to buy something or get a lesson from me or something, or if I'm an endorser of a company, then now I can be on their clinic roster and those types of things where now I can monetize that. If you're trying to get into the live world and playing out live, or you want to do session work, or you want someone to hire you, just remember you're not delivering something to that person that says I'm hireable. because I could play music or I could fit into this type of thing. You've only showcased one thing. You have to be mindful about that. Now, the last category here is engaging for fans. Now, there's a difference between views and fans. And what I'll say is people can watch your stuff, but fans will go to bat for you. They're commenting or DMing, oh my God, you changed my life. Like, I really love that story when you were talking about this, or yo, man, yeah, that was good. I never thought about that approach when you played it there. I didn't think about that. These are the people that are really gonna go to bat for you and support you when you're doing, your local thing, or you have a clinic going on, or yo, oh, I just dropped a new book or something. These are the people that are buying from you, genuinely supporting you, and just caring about your well-being. Let's talk about what types of things you post to draw those in. Vlog. So that's video live, just logging what you're doing on the gig. They get to know your personality, talk to you, and just kind of see the way you interact on your day-to-day basis. It's a really good way of doing that. Also, there's a thing, or like a theory, where you kind of post one of your hobbies as well. You don't go too far away from your music content. However, you have something, right? Let's say you're a huge coffee connoisseur. Maybe, once a week or every other post, you're kind of throwing out something on your story about, oh man, I just brewed this nice coffee. And it gives the other person watching something to attach to. Oh, I drink coffee too. Oh snap, he's doing a drip over. It just gives them something to latch onto that brings you to be more human. These are great things. So intertwining all three is obviously the best way to go. You just have to think about what you're posting and what you're trying to get out of it. A lot of times in my consultations when I'm dealing with musicians or artists or people who want to get into the social media, especially on YouTube, like, yo, what do I do? What do I do? And I start scrolling through their content. Well, I was like, I don't know what you do. I have no idea what you do. And this doesn't mean you have to be just super, super professional, but just remember you're a brand. You don't see Nike all of a sudden putting food out. They're not campaigning as if they're McDonald's. You don't see McDonald's all of a sudden acting as if they're Adidas. There's a reason why these brands are very specific about what they do, because when you see them, you know what this is. When you see a Target logo, you know what that Target logo and you know what it comes with. When you see McDonald's, you know what that logo means, right? You know exactly what it is because they branded themselves a certain kind of way. You have to think about this as a brand. So when you're posting your content, does this fall into my brand? If not, don't post it. If so, post it. You know what you're doing. It's a great thing to do, and run with it that way because it's very, very important. So remember, these are the three types of categories. Are we posting for followers? Are we posting for work? Are we posting for true fan engagement? Break those down, really ask yourself when you're posting, or hey, am I missing this type of thing? Do I have a lot more of one or the other? You need to go back through and analyze your page. And also don't be scared to delete stuff. That's okay. When you rebrand, you'll see artists all the time wipe things away. They'll go down to like 3 posts all of a sudden, or archive them, or whatever they do. There's a new branding happening. We got to reshift this. I don't want my fans and my people watching how I'm moving here to see things in a certain way. So you have to change that. So don't be scared. Always think about it in that way. Reanalyze what you're doing at all times and run with it that way. So that's going to be it for me. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Drop any questions you all have. This is a community. Only way we work together is we have to band together to work together. So help each other out in the comments. If you have any specific questions for me, leave it in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to it. If it's a really, really good question, I'll probably make another video about it, and I'll definitely shout you out as well. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and y'all have a great, great day.